Welcome to Geometry Unit 2. Today we're going to have a conversation about parallel lines and transversals. How many lels? A parallel. Get it? Huh? What do you mean that's not funny? Okay, so we're going to begin by discussing the relationships between lines and planes. Parallel lines are coplanar lines that do not intersect. So the big ideas that you have to take away from this are that they're coplanar, all right, and they do not intersect. They must be on the same plane and they do not intersect. On a diagram, you will see a symbol that looks like this, a little arrowhead, and it basically means that these two lines are parallel. This is how we write out whether two lines are parallel. This is how it's stated. This is line JK is parallel. This is the symbol for parallel right here, right? This is the symbol for parallel right there to line LM. Okay. Now, skew lines are non-coplanar lines that do not intersect. So we can look here and we can see these two lines. These are non-coplanar, do not intersect. Those are the two big ideas. So we've got line L. Line L is sitting up here, and line M is sitting down here, right? They are not going to meet because they're on different planes. Think about the path somebody's walking on a floor of a building with multiple floors, right? They may be walking a straight line and another person's walking a straight line, and if they were on the same floor, they would intersect. But because they're not on the same floor, they don't intersect. Okay, parallel planes are planes that do not intersect. Again, think of the floors of a building. If you're on the 5th floor, your friend is on the 9th floor, you're on two different floors. Those floors are not going to intersect, but they're nice and flat, all right? They're parallel to each other, okay? So we would look at this picture and we would say that plane A and plane B are parallel. They don't meet. And since they don't meet, they are parallel. Okay, so here we see two lines, okay? We have line Q and line R. So here's Q and here's line R. And this line here that's going up and down here, this one here that I'm squiggling on, right? That is called line T. That's a transversal. A transversal is a line that cuts across two other lines, okay? So as we look at this here, we can see a couple of different areas going to be developed. In this area here, we have what's called the exterior. So the exterior, which is this area here, right? This is exterior. This is also exterior down here. It is the area that would be outside of the lines, right? Like think of on a playing field, a soccer field, a football field, right? A basketball court, out of bounds, okay? That would be in the exterior, okay? This area inside of here, that is called the interior, okay? So this is the interior. It's in the field of play, as we would say if we were looking at a playing field. Okay, so we have interior angles. We have 4 interior angles that lie in the region between lines Q and R. So if we take a look here, we can say, okay, we've got these lines here that have formed these angles, and I've got an angle inside here, and this one's inside, and here's in the interior, and this is in the interior. And lo and behold, is the list of the angles that lie in that region between lines Q and R. Exterior angles are angles that open out to the exterior. So we can see that those angles have an area that's green in this picture. So as we take a look at this, we can probably figure out pretty quickly which ones are exterior. 1, 2, 7, and 8. Okay, now consecutive interior angles are they're both interior. There's a pair of these. There's two pairs actually, and they are on the same side of the transversal. So we would look at this picture and we would say, well, angle 3 and angle 6 are both to the right of line T, and they're both in the interior. We could look at angle 4 and angle 5, and those two angles are also on the interior, but they're on the left side of T. So we would say then that angles 4 and 5 are a pair of consecutive interior angles, and angle 3 and angle 6 are another pair of consecutive interior angles. Alternate interior angles are non-adjacent interior angles that lie on opposite sides. So non-adjacent, what does that mean? Well, 3 and 4 are right next to each other here. Okay, so we would say angle 3 and angle 4, see they're next to each other. That's adjacent. We don't want adjacent. So we want, they're not adjacent, but they're on opposite sides. Well, I can see that angle 4 is on opposite sides of T from angle 6. And then I can take a look over here and I can say, well, angle 3 matches up with angle 5. So that's the relationship, right? They're alternate interior angles. Okay, alternate exterior angles are non-adjacent exterior angles that lie on the opposite sides of the transversal T. Okay, so here we go again. Well, if I take a look at my drawing, at my figure here, if I'm with angle 1, well, I can't be adjacent, so it can't be angle 2, and it's got to be opposite sides, right? They have to alternate. I got to climb the fence per se. So angle 7 would be alternate exterior. The angle that would be alternate exterior with angle 2 would be angle 8. Okay, so let's talk about corresponding angles. Corresponding angles basically they lie on the same side of the transversal and on the same side of lines Q and R. Let me explain this a little more in depth. So if you look here, if I have 4 groups of angles here, right? Or a group of 4 angles, I should say. And this angle is in the upper left, and this angle is in the upper right, and this one is in the lower left, and this one is in the lower right. In this situation down here below, well, again, this is upper left here, and this is upper right here, and this is lower left down here, and this is lower right. So when we look at these angles, right, well, the two of them that are both upper left are 1 and 5, right? So they correspond. So this would be upper left. Right? These are my two upper left. 2 and 6 would be both upper right. They match up there, right? 3 and 7, this would be lower right. And then 4 and 8 would be lower left. And so this is how corresponding, they have the same corresponding position in their group of 4. So that's how they got the name corresponding. So you want to manage this with your, when we're asked to classify these angles.